Welcome back. Take 2 this week for 20.2. We're going to give you our second thoughts. We've been able to kind of look at some athletes running through some things. You had an opportunity to kind of get it done last night. So really, we just want to kind of give you some insight into, what we've observed. Maybe just add on to a little bit of what Adrian talked about last night. What are your initial thoughts?
Man, I'll tell you what, this workout is what I thought it was. I think that, we look at it immediately and we understand that 20-minute time domain is something that we need to establish a pace for and not kind of go out too fast and kind of be conservative. That's our normal train of thought, right? What I want to actually address to the community, you guys out there trying this, that know specifically the thrusters and the toes to bar aren't like a specific limitation for you, right? That rep scheme of 4 and 6. You gotta come out faster than you think you should, right? So literally, I would encourage people to come out the gate, be more aggressive, be willing to almost take some chances within the first 7 or 8 minutes, and then settle in and see if you can hold on to that through the duration of the workout. Of course, we know there's gonna be lulls, but for me personally, I was doing it by myself. I was putting check marks every time I did a round, just so that I could accurately tally them at the end, and I had this methodical pace kind of going. I ended up with 22 plus 7. But if I were to try to take that step to the next level to actually make it a competitive score, it would have to be tighter transitions, dumbbells a little closer to the rig, jump rope closer, and then like right when I set down that jump rope, scooping under those dumbbells, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, it's I think transitions are obviously very, very like a huge part of this, right?
Yep.
I think one thing that I noticed that I hadn't really anticipated is a lot of people's grip and shoulder fatigue, right?
Yep.
And it depends on who you are, but there were some folks that experienced, a little bit of that kind of settling in those last 5 minutes or so when I didn't expect it out of that person's in particular. So I think that knowing who you are and what your limiter is really, really important. So in my mind, I think that, you either have a muscle endurance limiter, specifically probably around the toes to bar, or it's an aerobic breathing limiter. And I think depending on who you are, you really need to look at breaking your sets up in the toes to bar, being humble enough to be able to do that so you can keep moving. I think for me, the biggest success I saw in people are the ones that could just keep moving.
That's it. Yeah, and it's hard to do. I mean, clearly, we're speaking to different populations of people. We've got an extremely competitive group where you guys might look at something, and if we establish, and just to throw some numbers out, it's like if we ask you to do a max set of toes to bar, and you're like, I'm a 40+ person. Or if you look at it and you're like, man, on a good day, I'm 17 or just below 20 or somewhere. Like if you're kind of deciding that you're in either one or the other of those groups, that latter group, that group where it's like we're barely making it to 20 every time, those are the athletes that definitely should be breaking up early and often, right? Because through the course of this workout, ideally, you're gonna accumulate quite a bit. And even the double unders can add to some fatigue with your grip if you're spinning the rope a little bit more aggressively. But yeah, I think that it's one of those deals where everyone's going to hit that stretch where aerobically it becomes a bit more stressful, right? Like there's that, I feel like after watching several athletes take a stab at this downstairs, there's like this grind that you hit no matter what time you hit it, but when you start to hit that 9th through that 11th round, it's like naturally there's this clock inside your body internally where you're like, ooh, you want to kind of peek at the clock. You're like, how long have I been working out? Am I close now? And it's like fight against that as much as you can, right? I want you to really focus on staying in the zone, stay on even the particular movement that you're on, and just almost, I know this sounds weird, but allow your body and your mind to be trapped in that moment, right? And stay present instead of like worrying about the 3 minutes to come or the 8 minutes that are still left in the workout. Because then that's just gonna build more anxiety, more like emotional instability where it could create literally harder breathing, like less diaphragmatic expansion. So it could just create a lot of problems. So just kind of be where you're at and just stay steadily moving. I think from a local muscle perspective though, we've seen mainly it's that grip and the toes to bar and then some shoulder stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And so I think that, those characteristics being stressed allows for a really good repeat for you guys on Monday.
Definitely.
Right? And so this is the cool thing about this workout is that if, you look back at your attempt, and this is what I would suggest for you is look at your video and see where there's some inefficiencies of your first attempt. And then take maybe tomorrow, and I'm just talking maybe 2 rounds, maybe just the pieces of it, but approach it as a skill-specific sport. Like, how are you picking up the dumbbells? How are you laying down the jump rope, right? Are you, how are you starting those toes to bar? Do you swing? Do you get one swing in? Anyways, there's a huge opportunity where it won't impact Monday's attempt, where you can go in, even in a warm-up situation, right? Spend 10 minutes, dial in all that, set it up, and then when you show up on Monday, you're ready to go, a lot more efficient, kind of ready to, get a better score.
Yep, absolutely. And to carry off of even what Nick was mentioning with those details or the nuances of all these three of these movements, when it comes to the dumbbell thruster, one thing that you guys got to be mindful of is, of course, uphold the range of motion standards. Hip crease below the top of the knee, lockout at the top. Don't hang out at the top of the thruster. There are going to be times where you're going to want to breathe and you're going to want to pause and you're going to want to. Don't do that within those 4 reps, because that round after round, 1, is going to add to shoulder fatigue, but 2, it's going to create a whole lot of time being wasted for you. So hit lockout, go into the next round, set the dumbbells down. Then if you need to breathe, you take an extra deep breath when you're not under tension and not under load, and it's going to actually make you feel better instead of just suffering at the top of the thruster. So that was one of the ways that I think I saw some people kind of losing just seconds, and seconds start to add up clearly when a workout where a lot of people are doing 15 plus rounds.
Yeah, 100%. So I think great opportunity for a repeat. It's a different workout. I know we really like it.
Love it.
We're looking forward to 20.3. And let us know how you do on the repeat on Monday if you're going to do that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crush it.
Take care.